According to JDRF, there are about 1.25 million type 1 diabetics in the United States. Many of you probably know a type 1 diabetic yourself, and even though they are diabetic, they're still able to live normal and healthy lifestyles like everybody else. Being a type 1 diabetic myself, I consider there are both some negatives and some positives to being a diabetic. One positive I can always think of, though, when I think of it, is my improved healthy lifestyle. If it wasn't for being a diabetic, I would not look and feel like I do today. Through my improved eating habits, improved exercising habits, and overall changes from the disease, I am more athletic and have better eating habits, and I'm overall healthier than I would have been beforehand. These changes in my body started happening in about the 6th grade. Going into the 6th grade, I was a very overweight kid. I weighed about 170 pounds, and to be honest, I was chunky. I wasn't very happy with this, and going into football, I started losing some weight. It was good at first, but then it got a little worrying. I lost 20 and 30 pounds over the course of a month or two. I asked my parents, and they said it was normal for a kid my age, so I just kept going along. But I was worried, and by the time I lost 40 pounds, they got worried too, and they took me to the hospital. And it turned out I was a type 1 diabetic. I would have known this beforehand if I'd known that according to JDRF, one sign of type 1 diabetes is sudden weight loss. But the doctors knew this and they diagnosed me, and being worried, there was one thing that stood out to me, is that I was more healthy now. I looked healthier, I was not fat, and I wanted to keep it that way. So I knew I had to change some things, and these changes started with my diet. Beforehand, I had a very unhealthy diet. I ate a lot of sweet, junk foods, and ate a lot of them, to be quite honest with you, and obviously that's not very good. And that wasn't going to slide being a diabetic. Being a diabetic, you have to have controlled portion sizes and have a certain amount of carbs for every meal. And my old eating habits were definitely not like that. So there were some changes that had to be made. I ended up changing my eating habits very well. I learned what foods are good for me, what foods are not, and I kept my proportion sizes steady, and I learned different foods that were good for me in certain situations. Some situations I need to have food to stick with me longer, and some others that go through my system quickly. But overall, I think this has helped me maintain a steady weight, is because I know how to put the right foods into my body and maintain my healthy diet. And another thing on top of my healthy diet that I needed to keep healthy in general was to exercise. And according to JDRF, one of the best ways to control type 1 diabetes is through exercise. I've always loved exercising, but it had always been a little more difficult than it has been now because I was overweight. But with losing some of that weight, I gained better exercising habits. I started doing it more often, I started doing more of it, and overall this helped me maintaining a better weight and keeping this weight on me and keeping it healthy. I started feeling better when I was exercising, and like I said, I started doing it more. And over time, I kept improving and improving, and where I am today. I feel like I'm a very healthy weight. I've been very successful in all of my sports. I play 4 sports right now, and I'm very happy with all of them. I never feel tired, and overall I'm very confident with the body that I have. Another thing that's pushed me with my sports and keeping healthy is all the memories and friendships that I've made through all my years doing sports. Those are another little just driving factor that keeps me to being healthy. I want to be like I was in all my good times, being healthy, and just stick with all my sports and being healthy, like I said. And my health and athleticism, there may be some other factors in there, but the one thing that I always come back to is that I was a type 1 diabetic. If I wasn't a type 1 diabetic, I wouldn't have been forced to live a healthy lifestyle. And just because I think everyone should really live a healthy lifestyle, because there's so many good things that can come from it. For me, it's improved my confidence and really everything about me, and quite honestly, it's probably saved me from some pretty bad medical conditions that can come from diabetes. And just think, if I can save myself those things from being healthy, imagine of all the things that you could say here. Imagine all the things that could stem from you starting a healthy lifestyle.